Gideon had to be the most fascinating man Rory had ever met. She had no idea what compelled her to agree to meet with him after the bar closed, and truthfully, right up until the moment she stepped out the back door and saw him waiting for her, she considered calling it off. She opened her mouth to tell him she'd thought better of it, but 1,000 butterflies took flight in her stomach, and not a single sound emerged. He stood draped against a column in the parking lot, looking so much a part of the night she could barely make him out, and there were lights scattered throughout the lot. He had dark hair with a few streaks of silver in it. She knew his eyes were blue because she'd secretly studied him in the bar. At night they appeared darker, but then if the light caught his gaze just right, he'd have an odd glow, much like an animal that could see in the dark. He straightened to his full height, and she realized he towered over her. That might have intimidated her, but she realized immediately that he had covered a slight wince, not an outward one. There was no change of expression, but somehow she read more of him than she expected, as if they were connected. When he'd left the bar after last call, she'd noticed he'd been cautious when standing, and that his friend had hovered. Again, Gideon hadn't shown annoyance, but she'd felt that he hadn't wanted his friend to call attention to him. Rory smiled at him. "I'm Laurel Chappel. My friends call me Rory." "Gideon Carpenter. Thanks for taking a chance on meeting with me, especially so late." He nodded his head toward her apartment building. "I thought we could talk in the koi garden. I'm not sure why they named it the koi garden when the koi were eaten the first month they were ever put in the pond and never restocked, but the name remains." The garden was situated right next to her apartment building, but she'd never gone into it. She'd always intended to. It looked peaceful and inviting. But when she had a day off, she nearly always went to Golden Gate Park and hiked around. "I'd like that. I've always wanted to go inside and look around."